2014 Chevy Captiva. I was told it's no communication to the ECM and TCM, but as we can see, my pre-scan shows different. We only have 7.2 volts, so I got to put the battery maintainer on here, but we have comms to the ECM and TCM, so I don't know what they're saying. It is a no crank. Let me get the battery maintainer on. All right, so let's go and see what's preventing our crank. It may be nothing. It may just have a bad starter. Electrical and immobilizer. I don't see an immobilizer light on the dash, so that's good. Oh, look, ignition signal 1, 0 volts. That would be the problem. We have a blown fuse. Okay, that's ignition controls relay feedback signal 0 volts. Wow. Okay, I thought this was going to be a difficult. ECM challenge status invalid. Wow, I thought this was going to be a tricky one. Mobilizer's programmed, yes. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, let's do the wiring diagrams. Let's go. Okay, so eventually I will get into doing screen overlays for service information and stuff like that, but right now we're not, so we're gonna have to deal with this type of a view. I would also like to mention that I am a mobile tech, right? I do business to business. I do a lot of car lots and repair shops. It's mainly what I do, and then I do programming for transmission shops. I mean, I do programming for everybody, but diagnostic wise, car lots and repair shops. So engine control module, as we can see, but basically I'll come in and try and figure out what's wrong with the vehicle in an hour and a half, right? 1.2. Really, I give 1.2. That's how I do it. I charge my 1.2. Once I hit my 1.2, I'm out. We're going to be leaving, and unless it's a slow day and I can afford to spend more time here, but otherwise we're going to bounce. We're going to leave, tell the customer, hey, this is what's going on, this is where we're at. I'm willing to walk away from the vehicle now, or I can come back and we're going to double it up. You know, I'm going to need additional time. Or if it's really bad, I might tell them I need another 2-3 hours, whatever, for approval. So that's why I can't be an expert in any of this. It's just, it's speed. Boom, 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 boom. You got to get this stuff done. You got to read, digest, and I do mainly electrical because drivability is much harder. You have to actually study that and read description and operation. Most times with electrical, no starts, things like that, all you do is look at a wiring diagram. That's all you need. You don't need to do any actual reading. I just need to understand this diagram, and then I can fix the car. All right, so anyways, we got ignition run relay, right? I forget what the data PID said. There was something to do with a relay there. 0 volts, engine controls ignition relay feedback signal, 0 volts. Okay, so it's probably this one here, which is the run crank 15 amp fuse. I can't believe this right now, but it's probably that. There's also 2 other ignitions down here. So that was ignition. There's 2 more ignitions. ECM powertrain and ignition coil A. Ignition engine controls ignition relay. Engine controls ignition relay feedback 0 volts. So we're just going to check some fuses, guys. This is the underhood fuse block. Okay, we're just going to go there and do those basic checks. So the first one I want to start with is this run crank. Oh, that's underneath the hood, so we're not going to do that. Or sorry, that's in the passenger compartment. We're going to start here with ECM powertrain and ignition coil, 15 and a 30. ECM powertrain. Let's see where that's at. Ignition coil A, 15 amp here, which is right here, and that's not lit. It's not lit at all, and we can see that it does work. So yeah, that relay is not turning on. Let's look for that ECM powertrain 30. 30 amp, where's it at? ECM powertrain 30 right here. Okay, so it's right here, and we have nothing. It may not be able to turn on because it's missing. Let's see if we got ECM 15 amp. I mean, I assume that that's good because the car can talk. So ECM 15 amp. Where are you at? ECM 15 amp. Right here. Yep, it's lit and it's lit. Okay, that's what I thought. Now we are going to go to the interior and we're going to check this run crank fuse block instrument panel. I don't know where that's located. So we're going to type in fuse block. Fuse block, instrument panel, is there locations? Yeah. Let's see here. Control find, fuse block. Come on now. Instrument panel. In the passenger compartment, in the center of the instrument panel, on the right front side of the center console. What? Oh look, RPO code list. Oh look, the fuse box, and it's been opened up. So somebody's been here. All right, so I may just have been relayed the incorrect information. Let's see what we find. All right, here we go. We got run crank 15 amp. So let's find our run crank. We go here like, okay, let's find any fuse that's hot. I just want to make sure, there we go, that the test light's working. Now we got to find the run crank, wherever that might be. Run crank, I see a run crank relay here. But that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the run crank fuse. Where could it be? Where, oh where could it be? It's a 15 amp fuse. How have I not seen it yet? It's pretty impressive how long it'll take me to find this stuff. Run crank, 15 amp, okay. So now we need to figure out, it sits this way. So it's 1, 2, 3 down. So we got 1, 2. I believe it's this one here. And there's nothing. It's not hot. That one's hot. So that one's not hot. So what's next? Okay, so what do we got to do next? We need to figure out run crank. Why is this ignition run crank not hot? Whoops. So the way that we're going to do that is, I'll try OE. I'll try OE, power and ground distribution. Why not? Ignition lock, power distribution schematics. We'll give it a shot. Let me open a couple more tabs. Okay. Ignition switch and power modding fuse. Cluster, TCM, ECM. Is this what we need? I don't think it is. ECM, powertrain, engine sensor, ignition coil A, ignition coil B. Okay, we'll try that. All right. And it brings us right back to ignition controls relay, battery bus. So this says hot at all times, ignition controls relay, right? And what were we? Ignition run relay. So I'm on the wrong spot. Ignition run relay is where we need to be. Okay, ignition run. Where is that located at? You guys see it? Let me know. Let's see here. Ignition run, battery 2. I'm gonna be ignition 1, run crank. Let's check it out. Ignition, oh, F2, you gotta be kidding me. It goes to it, F. Ignition main relay, ignition run relay is F. Where's F? Where is F? It's not here. It goes to a totally different page. Okay, perhaps it's on the last one. It's probably not. Ignition main relay F. Ooh, ignition run relay. Okay, so it was here. It's under heating mat switch, HVAC blower, run to SSPS fuses. HVAC controller, blower motor, run to ignition run relay. Why does that show only these fuses, but here, ignition run relay, it shows us the run crank 15 amp. Something is incorrect. All right, aftermarket wiring diagram time, guys, because we've got a discrepancy here. This is commonplace, you know. Happens all the time. All right, so let's go to find ignition run. Where you at? Okay. We got ignition run / crank. And then we have ignition run. Okay. So we got run to ignition run crank relay. Heating blah blah blah. Okay. Cluster FFCM to XBCM fuse 404 J run crank fuse. I'm still not seeing that particular run crank 15 amp fuse. Where's that run crank? Oh, it's this one. Sorry. So it does come from ignition run / crank relay, not from ignition run relay. Okay, so it comes from this one. So how can we find that in the previous schematic? I don't see it. Run crank, here it is. Run crank. 15 amp, run crank. All right, I missed it. My fault. Fuel pump? No. Engine control module? Yes. So why is the ignition main relay not turning on? That's the question. It doesn't really show us how that works. It seems to be built into the fuse block instrument panel. Ignition main relay. So let's go back to our aftermarket diagram. Who is labeling this ignition run crank relay? There's a ground underneath the driver's seat. Interesting. Body control module gives it control. As we can see, the ground on the control side is under the driver's seat. And then we have the body control module that gives it control. So let's go back to body control module and let's see if it's turning on the ignition. I don't know what it's going to be called. Ignition run crank relay or ignition run relay or whatever it's going to be called. Battery low voltage, brake pedal. We've got a LIN bus. Okay. Brake pedal, CAN bus. Power mode. 5 volts, accessory, ignition switch reference, 5.4 volts. Too high. Ignition switch signal voltage, 4.4. I don't know. Oh, sorry. There's what it was. Run crank active. Run crank relay command active. All right, so the BCM is telling it to turn on, but it's not. So that means that we probably can pull this relay, possibly, and see if we have grounds. But first, let's see if any of these other fuses are hot. Get you somewhere else. You know what I mean? So 2 of the first ones are going to be FSCM and clustered, 10 amps. So FSCM and cluster, where are these going to be at? Cluster is a 10 amp and FSCM. Okay, they're right here. Not hot, not hot, not hot, not hot. That thing looks like it exploded or something, to be honest with you. Something's not right about that one. So ignition run crank relay. We have a run crank relay here, a run relay here. So it's going to be run crank, so it's this one. So what are we looking for? Here we're going to have, basically there'll be 2 powers and 1 ground. Well, there might even be 2 grounds, but we should see 2 powers. There's our 1 power. See that? Something's clicking, I give a ground. There's our power. So we have our 2 powers. And when I supply a ground, that must be from ignition run relay diagram in. From in. In is here. So that's causing this one to turn on. HVAC blower, right? Let's see if I turn this on. And if I ground this one, still no HVAC. All right, so what's next? We need to make sure we have two grounds. Let's see here.
I'll tell you what, you get this thing running, you're gonna make somebody around here a happy camper.
That'll be good, for sure. That'll be great.
I gotta run across the street real quick.
Okay.
So I'll be right back if you need anything.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
What have you figured out so far?
That we're missing power.
Yeah.
Just missing power. So trying to figure out why.
Okay. All right, I'll leave you to it, man.
Okay. All right, so now we need to make sure that we have 2 grounds, which we have somewhat of a ground here. Nothing there. Nothing there. And nothing there. Okay, so really we have this one. That's our main load. So what is that about, huh? I think that the main thing is that we only have this one ground. It's not even lighting off good. Now, if we supplied ground to this, we heard the noise. So that means that we're missing that, let's see, in, right? In. Let's zoom out. In. So we should have the ground there too. Let's check this one right next to it. That's our run relay. Is it missing its ground? And it sure is. We do not have a good ground. It's the ground under the driver's seat. It's G301, under driver's seat. Okay, let's go there, see what we get. And we can go here to locations. This is a good thing. GM is so easy to navigate. G301. So easy to navigate on all data, I should say. G301 is number 4. And number 4 shows under the passenger seat. It said driver's seat. That's number 5. G302. So are we on the right one? G301, under driver's seat. No, it's under passenger seat. There's a lot of discrepancy on this vehicle with service info. This is a common issue. But anyways, let's see. It looks like it goes to the back of the driver's seat, not to the front. So after thinking about this, it appears that either way the seats would have to come out to get underneath the carpet, you know, to check this. So not gonna happen. What's more likely gonna happen is that I'm going to pull this BCM out and I can apply a ground, right? I can make my own ground. Look how loose it is. That's what I was wondering. Is it already, it's already loose. Somebody already took it out, because if you remember when we were checking it, the power side did not seem right. When I was using the test light and it barely lit the, on the load side of the relay, it barely lit that light. I think that is because we didn't have a good connection with the BCM or something. I'm not sure. Let me see what I can find out with this. So for the BCM, it's X2 right here. Pin 52 is our black wire ground. So what we're gonna do is go to diagrams, connector views, vehicle systems. It might be under relay box. Underhood, instrument panel, X2. That's a pretty large one. So I take it's the gray one. Must be the gray one. Let's see. It says black. Huh, but it's massive though. It's gotta be the gray one. They're wrong. Okay, so it was what? Terminal 52. And 52 is a big one in the center. This cannot be correct. That's a black wire? Yeah, what a nightmare this is to actually manage to get out and whatnot. Okay. I do not see the black wire. I see 2 reds. Those are absolutely powers. Not grounds. Yeah, they're definitely powers. Oh boy. Why is everything fuse block instrument panel X2? Let me go to X1. See what it looks like. Yeah, that's the smaller one. And it as well says black. Okay. X2, 52. Oh, sorry, I was looking at it wrong. 52 is on the edge, the corner. That is a black wire here. Okay, and that's a good ground. So if we have a good ground going into this BCM, then it must be the BCM that has failed. Absolutely. All right, let me get a terminal. Okay, according to our diagram here, the retained accessory relay has a shared ground, right? With the ignition run relay and the ignition run crank relay and the ignition run relay. All those grounds are shared. So we have accessory relay, the run relay, and the run crank. And let's see here. We have a good ground here on our accessory relay. And then we have no good ground. 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 And again, no good ground. So we only have one good ground. Something here, but it's almost nothing. So I'm going to switch over to ground and check for the powers. Okay. Now we're going to check for our powers. There's a power. 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 No power there. Power is there. So, I'm calling a bad BCM. It appears that the BCM is bad because this ground is good. I load tested that ground right here. I load tested it, the black wire, and we still have nothing. So the ground is bad. I'm gonna have to see if they want to do the BCM. It's gonna need a new BCM. It's just confusing that we should have from underhood fuse block 1 of 4B, we should have powers coming in. You know, 60 amp fuses and whatnot. Let's go make sure that these fuses are good. Okay, so these are those fuses and they're fine. So our issue is going to be a BCM. I'm going to call a body control module and we'll kind of just take it from there. I'm probably going to program it. It looks like it's going to be an EEPROM job. I've never done this one before, but this is a 14 or 13 or a 14, so it's probably going to need to be EEPROM'd. So we'll give it a shot. All right, guys, see you in the next one.